Hello, this is the TradeSite Forex Market Preview and International Economic Data Roadmap for the week beginning Sunday, the 9th of June, ending Friday the 14th, 2019. Hope you had a good trading week. Here's a look at the dollar index daily chart. Dipped a bit, but puts us, back where we were literally in November. 6 months ago, we're same. Been nowhere for a long time on this chart. Let's look at the daily charts of the major pairs. Euro dollar back up, the inverse of the dollar index as it has been for a while, and sitting where it was 6 months ago. Pound bounced back a little bit, also sitting exactly where it was 6 months ago. The Aussie dollar, same story, about approximately. Had a little more action there. Euro yen hasn't been doing much. The pound yen did come back a bit this week, but it's been down generally speaking. New Zealand dollar pair bounced a bit. So, we've just been stuck in this kind of horrifying range for a while now on the Forex pairs. Euro dollar, this is the weekly chart, 30 or the intra-week chart, 30-minute candles, high to low for the whole week is only about 180 pips. That's a little bit better than we saw the week before. The pound dollar high to low for the week is only about 140 pips. That's usually average daily range, meaning we trade about 130 pips per day on the pound. We did 140 for the week. Not very interesting. All right, so nothing there to look at in terms of breakout patterns or anything like that on the charts. There's no Seeker and Comer signals, so we don't have that to worry about. So it's just going to be a straightforward trading week as we head into the second half of July soon and June soon, and almost into the midpoint of the year. Amazingly already. Let's look at the economic data coming out this week. So Australia goes on bank holiday to start the week. Japan's got their bank lending current account, final GDP. China's got their trade balance, U.S. denominated trade balance out of China. Economy watcher sentiment out of Japan. Australia is on break, but also so is Switzerland, France, and Germany. They're all closed for Monday, so it's going to be a little bit lighter session. Foreign direct investment out of China, Italian industrial production. UK has got their GDP, manufacturing production, goods trade balance, index of services, and industrial production numbers, all at 4:30 a.m. Eastern Time on Monday. Housing starts and building permits out of Canada before the stock market opens. JOLTS job openings here in the U.S., manufacturing sales out of New Zealand that night. M2 money stock out of Japan, business confidence out of Australia. Japan has their preliminary machine tool orders. Centex investor confidence out of Europe, average earnings index out of UK along with their unemployment rate. New loans and money supply out of China at some point during the week, I guess is what that says. NFIB small business index at 6 a.m. Eastern time out of the US. 10-year bond auction out of the UK. Core PPI, the PPI number at 8:30. IBD tip economic optimism number. Visitor arrivals out of New Zealand. Core machinery orders out of Japan along with their PPI. Westpac consumer sentiment out of Australia. CPI and PPI out of China. German 10-year bond auction out of Europe. CPI number out of the U.S. Crude oil inventories here in the U.S. 10-year bond auction here in the U.S. This is all on Wednesday. Federal budget balance in the afternoon. RICS housing price balance out of the U.K. at 7 p.m. Wednesday. BSI manufacturing index out of Japan. MI inflation expectations out of Australia. The unemployment rate and the employment change number out of Australia at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time Wednesday night. 30-year bond auction out of Japan along with their tertiary industry activity number. Swiss SECO economic forecast. German final CPI. Swiss PPI. The LIBOR rate. This is a rate announcement out of Switzerland, the Bank of Swiss. The Swiss National Bank press conference right after that. Italian quarterly unemployment rate, industrial production out of Europe, Eurogroup meetings. Canada's got their NHPI number, import-export prices here in the U.S. at 8:30 a.m. along with the weekly initial and continuing jobless claims numbers. Natty gas at 10:30, 30-year bond auction at 1 p.m. New Zealand business manufacturing index, FPI out of New Zealand. Fixed asset investment out of China along with industrial production, retail sales, and the unemployment rate out of China. Japan revised industrial production. French final CPI, the ECOFIN meetings, and Europe retail sales out of the U.S., along with capacity utilization and industrial production Friday. CB leading index out of the UK, and then the preliminary of University of Michigan sentiment, along with business inventories number here in the U.S. So it's a busy week. Not a lot of rate announcements except for the Swiss National Bank. Really none of our big three here in the U.S., and there's no GDP numbers, but there is quite a bit of data. Hopefully that and the economic or the news around the world leads to something, but we will see. Charts as usual brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great trade.